Salvete omnes, nomen mihi est canicus. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the DDO free-to-play experiment. A whole bunch of guildies, not mine, but obviously they're all in the same guild running by. I am here with my primary character, Crixaflammus. We have a daily dice roll. Looks like the bonus to the rolls is over, which is fine. And I think it's time to do the storehouse secret. And we'll just kind of go clockwise around. Go across to bringing the light after this. Go ahead and get out my hireling. Not the most required right now, but I'm going to remember to do my buffs.
This place stinks of kobolds and decaying trash. Vermin scurry away from your footsteps.
I don't know what that was. Okay. I hit the button for Firebolt and it went on cooldown and it did not fire at all. I think update 50 is supposed to try and correct some of that. And that's coming in 2 days. This shouldn't... Well, it's very unlikely that it's going to affect my recording or my release schedule in the slightest, but I will almost certainly not be recording anything for this series on Wednesday. Can I get up there? Nope. I am positive that I will be spending my time playing the new expansion. So I have every intention of buying the highest tier pack, not for this account, but for my other account. I do enjoy this series, but I do put my money where my mouth is. I've said many times that I believe that I believe that this game is worth paying for. This series, this whole enterprise is simply me trying to answer the question, what is playing for free actually like? Is it a worthwhile endeavor? Is it fun? Is it a rewarding experience? What are the practical limitations of being free to play? Those kinds of things. Simply because I'm curious. Not because I think it's the best way to play.
The kobolds have thrown up a rickety barricade here, blocking further progress.
If I convince people that this game is worth playing, for free or otherwise, I'll consider that a win. Is it the greatest game in the world? No. certainly the game that I enjoy the most right now. Seen a lot of discussion on YouTube lately about problems that the game has, and I am not suggesting that there aren't problems. Every game has problems and issues and frustrations. I've been playing regularly this time around for the last, well, maybe 6 months. And so some of the frustrations that people are experiencing have to do with things that have been frustrations that have built up over time. You know, there are things that, you know, you experience a little bit, like lag spikes, the frustrations of dealing with TR cache, in-game frustrations, things like that. And like I said, I'm not suggesting that any of these complaints are invalid or unwarranted, or that people are complaining about things that aren't worth complaining about. What I will say is none of those things have sufficiently impacted my play experience to a point where I share those frustrations. You know, I get failed teleports as much as anybody else, and it is frustrating. But for somebody that plays, well, for this series I've been playing a good bit more, but for somebody that plays a few hours a week, you know, a failed teleport here and there is frustrating. But at this point in my life, those kinds of things still feel like isolated experiences. Whereas for other people who play a good deal more, I can see how those kinds of things, the frustration would build, and it would just be more. So if you are considering picking the game up and you're watching other people and they're complaining about things, just know that a lot of those things are not necessarily going to impact you, at least not right away. And the more casual a player you are, the less some of those things are likely to be frustrations, even if, again, even if these are things that really should be fixed, and are not, you know, acceptable problems, which, you know, I'm not really going to get into that. My level of expertise in this game, and in MMOs in general, is very limited, so I'm not going to pretend like I know better than somebody that plays this game several hours a day, or has played for consistently for the last 10 or 15 years, has done all the in-game stuff and all of the things that are a part of this, real part of this game that I just haven't really experienced. So I'm not gonna say they're wrong, but hopefully these things will get fixed. It certainly lag. Of course lag needs to be fixed. Right? Yeah, of course lag needs to be fixed. Yeah. But is lag going to severely impact a new player in the same way that it's affecting somebody who is having trouble with some hour-long raid or something like that, and all of their effort gets wasted because lag kills them or whatever? I mean, it's much more frustrating than having lag happen and you lose to bringing the light. It's just a different set of problems. I should probably put her up and
dispatch the guards with ease. The way into the gambling hall is clear.
Got a nice thunderstorm happening outside right now. Don't know if you'll be able to hear any of that coming through the mic. I don't think the rain will come through, but some of the thunder might. I do wish that fireball was a little bit more powerful, but I don't really have the spell points to maximize it. Oh, come on. There we go. So, anyway, for those of you that are wondering, I feel like this is a good time to get into the game.
A large, ugly fellow approaches.
It is old. It will run on very old equipment.
His business will offend the church no longer.
It won't run perfectly, but it will run. I was running the game quite happily on a 8 to 10 year old laptop with Intel UHD graphics. Nothing special or fancy or designed for gaming in any way. And it's what my daughter uses now to play. We even had it working on a much lower end computer that was about as old. It was a noticeably worse experience, but it ran. So if you have a decently spec computer, or just a computer that was decently spec 10 years ago, then it'll run. and you can have fun playing this great game. Oh, excuse me, I'm tired. I'm not bored with the game. Let's see. 40 is the line. So I've got another 10 grand or so to go before I really need to level up. And then the problem that's going to come from after that is, you know, I'm going to level up to 3 and be like 1 experience point away from level 4. And so I'll be running level 3 equivalent content while I'm building up to the XP for level 6 or something. So we'll have to see how that goes.
You closer to speak.
Ooh.
The air is chilly and damp. Despite this, the books seem
This is
dry.
definitely an example of what I find slightly annoying in DDO, which is the developers had to give time for things to happen. Like right now, a rogue or an artificer might be disabling some of these traps, and so this Eldamir Phallocrest can't run too quickly, but this waiting for him to leave just takes forever. You're just sitting here with nothing really to do except remembering to do my buffs.
The librarian has left.
So that was helpful.
Quick, obtain the book.
Complaint withdrawn.
The librarian's voice shrieks, "I know your true intentions, thief. My traps will be the end of you."
So this quest is it presents very little challenge, especially once you learn how to time the lightning that's coming up here. And remembering that it's right, left, left. It's also important to wait for a little bit after you do the rune, because lightning will continue to strike for a couple of ticks after you hit the button. All right, that was easy enough. Do have a little bit more work to do. Gotta go to the other side. I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to pull the lever on one side or another, which is very frustrating. My only saving grace is that I haven't done that in a party with somebody else. Like if I ran to this side and did my part and they went to the other side and did that part, all to turn around and find out that I never flipped the switch. Have not done that. It's one of the benefits of playing this game solo. And under normal circumstances, I would wait for my hireling to get closer, but I'm relatively confident in my ability to fight, so I'm not really going to fuss about it too much. So I don't know. Well, for favor, it will not be completely worthless to run all of the level 1 quests at level 3 on Elite. I will get the favor. But I don't know, it feels like a lot of effort, and some of that effort is difficult to justify. So I don't really know the best answer. I'd love to read your comments. Those comments will probably come a little late in the grand scheme of things for me to kind of change my immediate behavior with Crixaflammus anytime soon. But I'm always interested to have more information, and I'm going to keep doing these videos, so
You have found what
having
you're
a
looking for. It is time
better
to
idea of
leave
what I could
this
be doing
vile place.
better in future endeavors would be helpful. I think if I get to level, if I cap out experience by the time or before I do all of the level 2s on their initial run, I'm going to rethink this doing everything over and over again. Let's go ahead and do Butcher's Path. This one can be a little frustrating.
You have set foot on the infamous Butcher's Path, a gauntlet that has inspired many tavern tales.
I'm doing all these harbor quests in clockwise order, which means I'll end with Arachnophobia and... Or no, have I already done Arachnophobia? Yeah, I've already done Arachnophobia. Okay, good. But I don't know what I'm going to do about missing in action or the sunken sewer. I know I'm skipping stealth repossession, but
As you approach the dead end,
I may feel like I need to skip some other quests as well. I really don't know.
you successfully fended off the ambush.
Kill the shaman first. Kill the shaman first. Your life will be much better. I know I'm passing up a whole bunch of spot hiddens and stuff, but on a lot of this, I'll be honest, I just don't care. I did that first hidden door primarily because I like to avoid the chest that's here later. And I just realized, and I'll have to go back and look at the tape, but I just realized that the reason my firebolt didn't go off before was probably due to arcane spell failure. That would be my guess. That would make the most sense. Fear. Another shaman. I don't know if you remember the commercial, "Don't squeeze the shaman." Well, I'm going to squeeze the shaman. Yeah, you just keep firing magic missiles at me. I appreciate that. Okay. Still have to kill 21 monsters from here. Really shouldn't be too difficult. Be a whole gaggle of them over here. So, I said I'd like to avoid the chest. If you're not familiar with this quest, you get ambushed if you try to open that chest. And it's not an ambush that you can clear out ahead of time. They're behind these secret doors. Slightly low on spell points, but I'm really not hurting that bad. So, I'm not going to worry about going to the shrine. I'm not going to run out of spell points so poorly that I won't be able to take care of myself with the great axe. So, all right, we've killed enough. The hardest trick to me right here is not clicking on that rope and exiting the quest before I'm ready. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't have enough. Need to find something to spend my gold on. Oh, I'll go and buy those spells. I'll do that next next video. So I'm gonna now I want to get the treasure bag first. Now I want to go up. Okay. Gratias vobis ago. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I will see you next time for Dirk's Got a Secret, as well as going to... want to blur, that'd be helpful. Going to the marketplace and buying up all of the less level 1 wizard scrolls to get as many of those spells as I have as options. Si valetis, ego valeo valete.